Welcome to the One Life podcast with Becca White. This is episode 80. Write it down. Recently, I addressed a few of the still unpacked moving boxes in the basement and came across my grandmother's journals. Grandma Ruth was born in 1925 and she passed away in 2011, and I inherited her journals. I have looked through them in the past and came across many entries that discuss day-to-day happenings like bank trips and shopping lists, and I was so disappointed because what I really wanted is to know what she thought and how she felt, and I wanted to hear about the experiences that made her Grandma Ruth. But this time, as I read through her journals, I found the real treasure. She made a weekly Sunday note on a scrap of paper on the back of a worship program that included her thoughts about her worship service and oftentimes her prayers. What a gift it is to read through her thoughts and to feel of her strength. For fun, here is one of those Sunday entries. She said this was a lesson on the pure love of Christ. And she says, first of all, we have to love ourselves and then we can love other people. She said the 4 steps to developing charity is to study the life of Christ, pray, study the scriptures, and to serve. And this is a great little sermon all by itself. Also included on this scrap of paper is this counsel: don't talk to anyone, you have really bad breath. I don't know if she was making that note for herself or if this was an observation that she had made about somebody else. Okay, I also need to include my favorite story about Grandma Ruth. She shared that when she was 8 years old, she went to church with some friends and they sang a song called "I Am a Child of God." And she said that when she sang those words, she knew it was true. She knew that she was a child of God. And she said that this experience saved her because there was a lot of heartache and tragedy in her family of origin, and she was able to avoid many of the behaviors that brought tragedy. My grandma lived a full life of faith and hardship and generosity and love and heartbreak. How I love her. Have you ever noticed that your most vivid memories are tied to strong emotion? Positive and negative? For example, where were you when you heard about the Twin Towers going down? Everyone that was capable at the time remembers because it was so shocking and caused so much fear and uncertainty. But here's the thing. We do not live life one big event to the next. We live it in the daily small and simple interactions, and sometimes the most treasured experiences can be forgotten or worse, overlooked entirely. This is why it is so important to regularly journal. Journaling requires us to reflect on our experiences, and as we write, often we uncover meaning or create meaning, which helps us understand our world and, more importantly, ourselves. Today's invitation is to take some time to reflect on the past week. What are you grateful for? What were the important events or experiences? What did you learn? When did you see the hand of God in your life? You are a wealth of knowledge and experience. Write it down. If you do, you bless your posterity with the option to build on what you have already learned instead of having to start where you did. I know that I am so grateful that I get to read through my grandmother Ruth's journals and to hear of her thoughts and wisdom and to feel what she felt. That's all for today. Until next time, keep living your best life.